はい、皆様ごきげんよう、モリアーティです。本日もシャーロックホームズクライム&パニッシュメント続きやっていきたいと思います。どこからでしたか。そうですね、トビーが庭で嗅ぎつけた怪しい場所を確認するところから。前回が、確か何か実験したんでしたっけ。紐の実験ですかね。何で切られたのかで、ナイフであることが分かったところですかね。さて、サクサク終わらせましょうか、今回の事件は。さて、では庭に出てみましょう。ここかな、ここですね。
Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved. Bags of seed. This hook.
何かに役に立つ。
This old suitcase sounds.
あとは
This old. Small gardening tools. There's something glittering at the bottom there. If only I had something with which. If only I had something with the wheel hand. If only the wheel. If only.
まだ何かが足りないようですかね。この辺りで、匂いが消えてましたよね。なるほど。なるほど。簡単に取れたな。
Silverware. This is hardly a coincidence. The Brackenstall coat of arms.
やはり捨てられてましたね。強盗に見せかけた、これが真実でしょう。船員を見つけましょうか。資料館とは最近いろいろ他のゲームをやりすぎてね、操作がねちょっと違うからね、そのシフトを1回押したらずっと走ってくれるとかね、そういう勘違いをしてちょっと操作がおぼつかないんですけれども、ご了承ください。
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Your ladyship?
分かっていたのか、それとも彼女の知らないところで行われたことなのか。
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
は昔おる。レストレイド君、君何やってんの？
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place. Or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to
まあ
solve
僕たち
this
という
mystery.
か、その僕ちゃんだけだと思うけどね。
Holmes?
では資料館かな。書庫、自宅ですね。今回マップ少ないですね。しかしやたらとなんか船員に関係ある事件が多いですね。資料館、調査資料、ジブラルタル、ジブラルタル、これですか。ジブラルタルロック号、アデラード、サウサンプトン、ロンドン航路。バラ石貨物船、ロンドン、ジェームズ通り、キュナードビル、6ヶ月、フレイザー、女相続人、鈴鉱山、メアリー城。
Here it is.
思ったより複雑な事件なのかな。なんか2点3点する可能性ありますね。さすがにこのままだと味気ないですからね。でも
The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
専門家を犯罪現場の食堂がまだですか？食堂ってまだ調べることあるんですかね。
A fur trader's cabin. This door.
この先も進めるようになるのか否か。確かこの辺りは全部調べたはずなんですよね。さて
Oh, what a horrible...
やはりベーカー街に戻る必要があるのかな。もう一度
My archive.
資料を
I
見
can
る
always
必要
consult
はない
with it
の
if
で
needed.、
He's right across the street.
あ、ウィギンズ君をまた頼ればいいんですね。
Brave.
いや、本当に便利なものだ。
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
しかし彼
I
は
need a
いつも
register, my young
そこにい
friend.
るな。
If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893 and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
3時間後。
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it
優
back.
秀すぎるだ
Too
な。
risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins. This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London Line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th. This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be in. This list.
あ、こ
I
こ
do
から
not think that this.
選べばいいってことか。
This officer is still at sea. This officer is. I do not think that this. I do not.
と
This officer is.
ウィリアム
This officer was on a ship that sailed.
消えた。ハ
I do
ーバ
not
ー
think
ド
that.
トーマス・ウェーカートーマス・ウェーカーあ、ジャック・ローカーがこれは違うかな。
I do not.
これも11月12ですよね。11月7日にあ、じゃあここですね。
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
それで
I do not.
この辺いないですよね。チャールズ、ジャック・トーマス、ハーバード。何人かいるってことかな。ここも違う。ハーバード・ホーキンス関係ないですね。
I do not.
関係ないですよね。
This officer was on a ship that sailed. This officer.
あ、これいちいち全部消さなきゃいけないんですか、もしかして。
This officer is still at.
あとはトーマス。トーマスさん。 トーマスいない、あ、いたいた。
This officer is Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor.
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
クロッカーを訪問してたい、え？クロッカー？
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
本当に優秀だね。素晴らしい。
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes,
You know
it is
what
important
got
that we
there,
talk. You will soon understand why. You are acquainted with Lady Me...
Yes, I think I do remember her, from when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... and what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
誠実な殺人犯。携帯ナイフ。インクですか。
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
ああ、偽の証拠を出すと。偽の証拠？じゃあここは真実、不健康な状態、古い傷、あと飲食器類、古い傷跡って何のこと？違いました。初めて間違えました。
Lady Brackenstall.
You call that evidence?
なんだろう。偽の証拠？
Lady Brackenstall. And it was...
You call that evidence?
普通に考えたらこれなんですけど、なんで
Yes,
その
as she was
その
tied
まん
with
ま
a
じゃないです
sailor's
かね。
knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night.
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
早くないですか？事件の手がかりをすべて手に入れたそうなんですが、いやー、思ったより早いですね。ああ、なんか箸休め程度の物語だったんでしょうか。まあいいでしょう。さて、逮捕する、ジャック・クロッカーが殺人者だ。彼とその共犯者であるブラッケンストール夫人は罰せられるだろう。自己防衛のための殺害だった。ジャック・クロッカーはアルコール依存症の暴力を振るう男から女性を守った。謎は解けたが事実は公開しないことに決めた。警察に知らせる必要はないと。そうですね。まあ皆さんこちら選ぶでしょうね。まあただ私は真実を解き明かすもの。人の気持ちは二の次です。まあ探偵とはそういうものでしょう。
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything,
まあで
I
し
was
ょう
insane
ね。
with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is.
なんか戦闘が始
Lady
まりそうですね。
Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
怖いね。
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
.やはりこういうゲームになったか。あれ急にねコマンド操作出てくるとね焦っちゃうよね。 一発で決めたかったね。カットしようかな。
You should have let me die. How can I live if Mary suffers?
I am sorry, Captain Crocker, but there has been quite enough death in this case.
まあここで死なれるとね、ちょっと絨毯が汚れるから。
Inspector, I give you Sir Eustace's killer. He tried his best to perform his own justice.
Well, I'm not surprised. Yes, it was me. I confess.
Here is a piece of evidence that can be used in court.
Perfect. A case that went smoothly for once.
Anytime. ユースタス卿はその夜、ブラッケンストール夫人を訪問してジャック・クロッカー船長、読み上げる必要もないですかね。まあ明白でしょう。いや早いな。終わってしまった。まあ今回はここまでですかね。アビー屋敷の事件短かったですが、まだあれですか。皆さんが選んだ、どうしましょう。もう一つの結末見てみます。多分つまんないと思うんですよね。どうしましょうか。じゃあ今回ちょっと短いのでね、もう一つの結末を見てみましょう。さて、すべてがつながり、こちらですね。放免する。こちらで。
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole
ここま
truth.
では同じですか。
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
また結局こうなるんですね。
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations. See here, Captain Crocker, we'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more.
まあレストレイド君
Come
が
back to your lady in a year,
ある意
and
味
may
心
her
配ない
future
ね。
and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night. Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
ごきげんよう。はい、ここまでです。そうですね。今回は、多数派ですね。これですと。まあいいんじゃないですかね。絨毯汚されなかったのでよしとしましょう。では今回はここまでにします。次の事件でまたお会いいたしましょう。モリアーティでした。
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?